If you don't turn on the hood and you start cooking, it'll turn on itself because those heat sensors tells the system that you've reached a certain degree. I don't know exactly what it is that kicks on those sensors. But good practice always just to turn it on while people are like, we can't reach it. So they just wait until the cooking equipment gets hot enough and they turn it on. I'm assuming somebody else will come out and do the training on the rest of the hood.
If we need to, we can. It doesn't necessarily call for it, but if that's something you want, we can certainly set that up.
Yeah,
I mean, I know with systems, I know how they work.
They love to send super old manuals, so I'm going to see.
Yeah, spill over. I know how to take out
Take them out.
the filters and run them through the dishwasher to clean.
Now you have a small AVA dishwasher, so I'm not sure if your filters will fit.
Okay. So then that means we're probably gonna either have
We
to
might
hand.
have to hand wash them.
Okay.
We can take one out and try it and see if it'll fit.
I think there's a couple actions over here that we can try.
Yeah, but your dish rack is only like 20 by 20, and I think these might be like 21 by 21. So
If they have the rails in the bottom of the dish machine, usually I take the rack out and I'll just slide it in at an angle, and then that usually washes it if it
Okay.
fits. If the filters are small enough to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even use the rack.
A lot of times what we tell people is you have to make sure your equipment is exactly underneath the mantle drop, and this is full coverage, so you don't have to worry about it. So these cover the whole entire lineup in my work position.
Is the Ansel liquid or is it powder? Liquid.
Yeah, another one on the second floor, so it's not really this one, it's supposed to be all.
I think that's the only one I have to wear does these days. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, all of your fans and stuff are remote. You're not something's not working, you're calling somebody. You're not finding out to see why it's not working. Most of the time, if it doesn't work, because a bird's got caught in the fan. You're calling your mates, guys, and they'll figure out that fan doesn't work.
So your emergency shut-offs are on the back side of this for this one, and then up there by the janitor's closet for the hood 2 and hood 1.
Okay.
But the fire marshal made us put signs on these so you knew which one.
Love those guys.
Yep.
So, okay, Drew, if you want to start whatever, we can do walk-in or we can do oven or griddles.
Yeah, we can go through the Jake stuff
Okay.
first, and then
This is Drew Dancer. He is actually the local representative for Jake. So, when we have a local representative, then they like to come to their trade. So, I'm not saying so much.
yes, and I'll give you my info at the end.
Okay.
Just call me with any questions. I'm here in town, so
Okay.
if need be, I'm gonna be here in 10 or 15 minutes as well. So, first off, just a couple of things to note is there's two different series of Jade pieces here. You have, actually, no, it's in the Bistro, okay. So the Bistro used to not have the electronic ignition on the base, which is fantastic, and that's kind of what I was looking at. But let's just start over here with the griddle. So we'll go griddle, charbroiler, 6 burner, and then looks like that's it. And then it kind of repeats itself. There's nothing different, right? Just these three
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah.
Do you want me to fire these up as we go, or just show you where the pilot holes are?
Yeah, you probably don't want to leave the standing pilots running, so I don't. If we can light them, it's up to you.
Yeah, you can go ahead and line them.
Okay. Do you have a lighter?
I do.
I don't have a lighter.
I don't know.
Okay, so I can. This is easier than lighting your hot water tank at all. I promise. Okay, so starting over here with the griddle, if you want to squeeze on over here. So this is your 24-inch griddle. It looks like this has already been kind of seasoned or burnt in. One thing that I like to tell people cleaning-wise with the griddle is after a couple weeks of service, you'll notice you'll start getting kind of that charry, grimy stuff that's kind of caked into the griddle plate. I've found that if you let the griddle cool down at the end of service to where you can touch it, so like 150, 170-ish, hit it with a little bit of lemon juice, and it will polish the top up really nice. Something that I just like to share is I think I
been
house.
doing it for a year.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I've been doing it for a year.
Okay, good. So I'm not just making it up. but
No,
that's-
you're
it's
not.
legit.
It actually
Okay, good.
it will make it look brand new again. Once
Yeah.
I put a lemon juice on there, something acidic. Yeah.
Okay, so to light the pilot for this guy, you're gonna crack your gas valve on, okay? So you gotta push in just a little bit and turn it, and then in here, that's where you're gonna stick the lighter and light the pilot. Okay, there's just this little pilot head, same thing you have right up underneath for the burn. Okay? So you're just reaching in there to ignite the pilot. Okay?
So are we doing it for both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because on the Bistro series, you have a burner every 12 inches, so 2 burners on this guy. And then here's your grease tray. Obviously there's not a whole lot of room to do a deep clean, but if need be, I guess you can kind of get a brush in there to clean. But just keep an eye on this guy to make sure it's not going to overflow and whatnot. And then the stainless on the exterior, just a mild stainless cleaner. I like the blue nylon scrubbies. Those do a really good job. And they won't pit or scratch up any of the stainless on the exterior for you there. That's the griddle. Pretty. It's a basic thermostatic griddle. Yeah, that's it. Anything else or any questions on this guy?
Don't line the pan with foil.
Okay, don't do that at all.
You're not supposed to. When I turn around and leave, you're probably going to do it anyways, but they do say don't line it with foil. I think your fire marshal doesn't like it, your health department doesn't like it. I don't know how Jake feels about it, but most people don't want to take it out and clean it all the time, so they line it with foil, cover the foil, throw it away. We don't recommend it.
No foil. All right, so moving on to our boiler. Similar operation to the griddle here. You have, your pilot tube and runner for your standing pilot. So to light this guy, same theory. On the char broilers, you want to light from the inside out, and then the other burners will catch. So if you light the 2 middle here, then the outside burners will catch. I like to light it from the top. I've just always done it that way. But it's up to you how you want to light it. And that's, as you can see, there's a little hole in that stink. It's kind of, see a little hole right there, and that piece is sheet metal.
Yeah.
That's what we stick the light over there. And then right on the other side is the little pilot head. So cleaning for this guy, actually let me step back. So these are cast iron radiant covers. You're gonna just want to hit these with like a stiff bristle brush to clean these guys.
Okay.
Do not put them through your dish tank because they will forever shed after you run them through your dish tank. So just like a stiff bristle brush for the radiant covers. Same thing with your top grades. Just a stiff brush for this guy. Do not run this through the dish tank either. Don't pinch your finger between this when you do that. All right. Any questions on the char boiler? Here's your grease tray. It's like it's a cleaning. Yep. Any questions on this guy? Good. All right. So for the 6 burner, if you want to scoot on over here a little bit. So you always want to light the top burners first before you turn the valve. So this is the valve for the convection base. You always want to light the top, light your pilots on the top before you turn this guy on and light the convection base. So for your open burners, as you can see, this is the pilot head. So you're gonna turn your valve on and then just light your pilot for every single burner. And then those will be a standing pilot. When you turn the valve off at the end of the day, the pilot will still stay lit. If you have any spillage, which that never happens, right? Never gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, most commercial ranges are constructed similarly. But just so you know, if you have spillage, the burner assemblies are easily removable. As you can see, you just have your valve here, you can slide it onto.
After it's cooled down.
After what?
After it's cooled down.
Yes, after it's cooled down. But yeah, easy to access to get in there and you know, get everything torn apart so you can clean it up and stuff. These guys you can run through your dish tank.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I said, just don't drop them because they're very, very heavy. So that's it for the top. You do have another giant crumb tray or spill tray for your top burners. And then operation for the convection base will, is the gas onto this without the hood being on, do you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
should be.
Gas should be
Okay. Okay, so to light your convection base, this is your main valve right here. Okay, so you're just gonna turn this guy on. Blower, you're gonna flip that to auto. That's for your fan. Power, and then you're gonna turn your thermostat. You should put it to 350. And you'll hear it clicking. And then it should fire here in just a second. They didn't start this one up.
Yeah.
Try. Humid.
It's supposed to get even worse.
As we go on.
Yeah, as the week goes by, yeah.
There's just air in the line.
Could be. How long ago was it started up, do you know?
Oh gosh, when did we do that? A month ago.
Half ago.
Could be. Could take a while. I can come back after.
You want to try a different one?
I can. Actually, no, let's come back to it
Okay.
when we're done. All right, I'll come back to this. Let's go over to the Blodgett convection oven.
I did not schedule any training on the refrigerator basis. I'm sure you're familiar with true refrigeration.
Is that what those are?
Yeah, these are refrigerator bases.
So basically, these can fit with 6 pans, third pans, half pans, 4 pans. That like if you need to keep anything cool, a dig for your prep or anything like that, and the kids have access to it pretty easily.
Yep, you just have to buy the adapter bars if you okay for whatever configuration it is. Okay.
One more thing on the convection base. We have spillage in here. That's okay. It's built. It's built. Sorry. Your rat guides on the side come out if you have. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to take them out because it's kind of tedious to get back in there. Then, as you can see, this is a stainless interior, so just you know, the nylon scrubby again, just a mild degreaser, and then as you can see, the blower wheel is right there. So definitely no foil on your pans, because that can get sucked right into the blower wheel, and that's an expensive fix.
Is parchment okay to use?
I think that they don't want you to like wrap the top in foil because that just has the
Right, yeah.
blow it right off.
Yeah.
You know, parchment paper if it's lined and there's something heavy on the bottom of it, but you know, I'd be very careful not to oversize your parchment paper so that you have pieces in the back that get, you know, pulled off and blown up in there. Because the parchment paper does get kind of, you know, brittle and brown.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what.
Just make sure that it fits the
Yeah.
pan so it can't pull off extra pieces.
But you know, we would encourage you to buy those rubber mats from Wasserstrom. Yeah.
We'll see. I know.
Drew, can they add another rack in there if they want, or is
Yes.
that okay? So it
Yep.
just comes standard with one. but
With one, but if
yeah.
we needed to purchase more, we
Yeah.
could.
I get it. Just turn this off for a second. All right, if you wanna go check out the Blodgett oven real quick. All right, so this is your Blodgett single deck convection oven. So this does have the cook and hold with Pulse Plus controller. I don't know how much holding you're going to be doing, but
I mean, if we have events in here, they'll probably be want to hold in there.
okay.
But only during events, not during class
Gotcha.
or labs or anything like that, you know?
Okay, perfect. There's also a Pulse Plus feature, which will pause the fan every 20 seconds and just do like a start and stop. I apologize, I'm not a chef. I don't know why you would use that. Maybe for delicate goods, things like that. But that is what the Pulse Plus feature is. So functionality, actually, let's look at the inside real quick. So this guy has a porcelain interior as opposed to the jade oven, which was all stainless. Just one thing to note on porcelain, obviously it is a little easier to clean, but if you do hit this, it can start to peel pretty quick. So just, once again, another, they're non-abrasive, just mild greaser on the inside. Same thing on the rat guys. These guys pop out if you do have any spillage in here. And then you do have your blow reel in the back as well. So the light switch for this guy is just a rocker. Yes. So just so you can turn your halogen bulb on, that thing should last the life span of the oven. Step over here. Okay, so functionality wise, you want to make sure this is basically your fan switch, okay? So we're gonna put this to high. Whenever this switch is in cook mode, it's going to tell the oven to call for heat, okay? So as you can tell, it's starting to fire up. Right now it's set at 500 degrees. So whenever it gets to temp, this light will go off. That's how you know that it's up to your set temperature. It'll also beep and tell you as well. So let's actually turn this guy down a little bit. Actually, I thought you had to wait till we got up to 10, but I think I can show you a couple of the functions of the controller. So basic time, really simple. You're just going to hit the time button, and then set your desired time. Okay, so time. Let's go 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 48 seconds. That's pretty basic. Not a whole lot to it. And then let's stop that guy. I believe if you hold it in, it resets it. Yeah, it does. So just to start and stop on this guy, not a whole lot of functionality. So you can change temp, time. So hold, so your holding time. Actually, I need to look in the manual again here real quick. Because there's also a time you can associate with this. So right now we're just telling it, let's hold this at 198. I need a refresher to show you how you can tell it to hold at 198 for 15 minutes, for example. Just so you have an eye on that time. And then the Pulse Plus, same thing on. Let's look at that in the manual here in a second. Cleaning wise on the outside, just once again mild stainless cleaner. You don't want to pit that stainless or
Yeah, one thing to point out, because the oven is on casters, you just have to be really careful. You're an electric oven, you have a very short cord.
Oh yeah.
So if you go to clean,
Good
don't
point.
rip that cord out.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's,
Stubby.
I'm not,
So
no,
you really can't really pull
you
it anywhere.
can't. No, it probably should have just been on legs.
Yeah.
And there's a floor drain behind there because this kitchen was on a really tight budget. So it was supposed to be a combi oven. So there's a water line in the future.
That's what I was wondering what that was for, okay.
In the future, if you decide to change that and then within your budget you can put the combi oven in, then you can get, you know, a water filter, you've got water line, and that's where your drain line for the combi oven. And then the blank space, where you have answer drops is for fryer.
Fryer,
And again, it just
yeah.
got, it didn't
Yeah.
pay the budget, so
Well,
in the
that
future.
combi oven would have been so nice to have. Yeah.
Okay, so with the hold, real quick. We're gonna hold at, let's just say 165. So from here, then you're gonna go in and set your timer to tell it, I wanna hold for 4 minutes and 18 seconds, and then you just start it like you would a quick cycle. Basically the same thing. So yeah, pretty basic. I mean, not a whole lot to the controller. You can set time, temp, and you can tell it at what temperature to hold product for. Here, let's look at the pulse. I don't know. Actually, let me just grab the manual real quick.
When he's doing that, I'm just gonna walk you through a couple of the other functions of the kitchen. Obviously, you know, to convert the steps in. We ended up having these ice here, just for the person that's really early in the kitchen, so those tray slides there, just for the section. So you can ask that. You don't have to, well, you have small amount of refrigeration there, but yeah, that's just dry. Over here, this station is the wireless solution for APA station. So on those you have to get underneath here.
You have more space in
So
there.
this station looks a little bit different than the other stations, and that's why.
Okay. Perfect.
And all of, there's tons of keys everywhere, and everything just has the same key if you decide to lock them keys. The shelves are unadjustable slides, so you can adjust and move back what you need to. That's it on the counters. Again, everything is stainless, it will scratch, just, you know, shield shine, stainless polish, food safe, stainless steel here.
What are these? Are these just cabinets?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This is just the access underneath this thing.
Yeah, probably just like a cabinet clean.
Yeah.
Okay. This one doesn't have shelf, so we have to post them away, but makes sense. Just storage. Mop closet.
Now, is that what's in that closet? Is that, Ethan?
Sorry?
What's in that closet? Is that for the whole entire building, the water supply line?
No, there's like other areas that people get water from.
Okay,
That as if it's just there.
okay.
Yeah, there's like a mop closet on the northwest rim of the
Okay.
floor, so they won't come to your kitchen for. If that's what you're asking, is that the question?
No, I was just wondering about this whole like system.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might need to actually get through your know
Okay.
that, but this is your own mop closet.
Okay.
Nobody's ever hung the rack that you hang your mops and brooms off of.
Instant
It's been
360.
used in grabbers.
Yeah, it's nice.
But I think it was part of the plumbing contract, so you should just get on the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
because I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to purchase something to hang up. the
No,
box
that's
and,
what that is. It's just never got hung up there. I think probably because it's just always been used to cut the door open.
Okay, so the pulse is even easier than I thought it was. It literally pulses for 30 seconds and then shuts off for 30 seconds. So, if you ever wanted to pulse this oven, once again, I don't know why you would do that, but you guys do.
Not really. I've never heard of it before.
I don't think anybody ever uses it. I
We'll
don't
figure it
actually
out.
know
Yeah.
why they. So if I wanted to do so, okay, I'm gonna, starting from a clean slate, I'm gonna hit pulse plus, and I'm gonna do this for 2 minutes. And then you hit start. Good. So that shuts off in 30 seconds. back on. Which you can see here. It's
Saying
impulsive.
happens.
Yeah. And then it'll call for heat again, and then the blower will kick back on for 30 seconds. So it's just giving that shot of heat every 30 seconds. For muffins. You don't have
I'm
to.
looking it up right now.
I was gonna look it up later. See, like, what can I use?
But just so you know, that's the pulse feature. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So end of the day, when you want to shut the oven down, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can simply turn it off and open the doors. Some people like that. I don't love that because it's kind of a safety hazard, especially if it's busy in here. But old school, some people do. Or you can keep the door shut. You're gonna flip this switch to cool down mode, but you have to keep your fan on, okay? And it's gonna cool it down internally. Once it gets to, I don't know the exact temperature, but once it gets to almost cool to the touch, then the fan will shut off. Yep. Also in cool down mode, you see the fan will stay on as it's still cooling down. But once it senses the temperature is, safe to touch, the fan will kick on.
And then you still have to come over and turn it off afterwards.
The blower switch, no. So in cool down mode, once there's an internal thermostat that senses, once it gets to, like I said, I can't remember, it's 160 or 150, then that fan will shut off.
And then it's not.
Yes. Yep. This is your circuit breaker. I mean, you shouldn't really have to mess with this. I'll just keep it in the on position. That's needed for service if the tech has to come in and replace the controller or something like that. Okay. Any questions on your oven? The doors will loosen up over time. Actually, they're not too bad, but they'll loosen up a little bit more. Oh, make sure you're cleaning these gaskets as well on the inside. That ensures a nice tight seal for the cook cycle.
So you use Pulse Plus when you want to slowly change the temperature, and things like souffles won't deflate.
Oh.
So it keeps it.
And that's what I was thinking it was for souffles.
Okay.
Anything that's very delicate, that's airy.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Sounds great. They should just call it souffle.
I know.
Souffle plus. That's smart as that. All right.
Walk in?
Sure.
Sure, you'd love to go stand in.
Yes, I would. I'm not solid that was. You're gonna have to have us on there. You're walking, you walk into it. Pull your product out of it. I told Trish I never did one before. I have. So this you're walking. This is the handle. Pull the handle. You're supposed to help me here.
Automatic lights, come on.
Automatic lights.
Yeah.
Here is your display for your set temp. If this is ever alarming, call your facilities people immediately. Right? That's
Maybe. Like, it depends on. It's preset at the factory. And if you stand here with the door open for 20 minutes, loading it with warm product, it's probably going to go into
Right.
alarm mode.
Yeah.
Because it's reached that unsafe temperature. If you shut the door and let it get back up to temperature, it'll stop alarming. So, I mean, if it goes into alarm and you haven't had it open and are loading it, then yeah, there might be something that you need to call somebody out. There might be something wrong with the fan or
like alarming out of ordinary operation,
Yeah,
outside of
right.
ordinary operations. Here's your safety emergency release if you ever get locked in here. It'll be in this position. You just open it and you will open it. That'll turn. It shows.
These are your keys. Never been out the package. They're just taped up there, so when you're ready to take ownership and take the keys or whatever.
How loud does this panic alarm? Have you ever heard one? Just curious. I've never heard one. If you do get stuck in here, there's a panic alarm.
oh wow, I've never seen that.
I've never pushed it. I've always wanted to, but
I mean, it's just in here, right? It's not connected to anything. Like it's not connected to.
we're not sure. Should we try it?
Test it out.
I don't know what that's hooked up to and like how much is gonna ring. I imagine it would just be the system itself would ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just within the controller itself. It's not hooked up to any
Right.
building automation system.
So if you got a coworker close, if you get stuck in there, which you're not going to get stuck in.
You should. You should. The only one that I'm scared of getting stuck in is the freezer.
Yeah.
I watch too many Saw movies.
And then obviously if you walk in and you see the evaporator like icing over,
Yeah.
that would be a cause for concern, like a potential leak in the refrigeration.
So do I call facilities for that, or do I call the manufacturer?
I mean, I always tell people within the first year, if it's under warranty, you can certainly call the manufacturer.
Yeah. They'll help you troubleshoot.
Okay.
Or, yeah. And once you get your warranty cover sheet, the installer that put this system together is local also, Professional Refrigeration. They don't do your service work. I'm not sure who the university uses to do the service work. They'll end up coming in and plastering stickers all over. But yeah, for the first year, you can call that service company that did the work because he knows where the line sets are. And typically, if it's freezing up like that, you have a refrigeration leak somewhere, and your condensers are all the way up on the roof. So we've got long refrigeration lines here.
Okay.
But that would be an indication that something along those lines, the condenser on the roof needs to be checked, possibly for a leak or. Your roof in this heat is going to get really hot, so we have a lot of refrigeration calls during this heat. You know, the systems go a little bit low on the refrigerant that's in them.
Do you feel like your clients usually get preventive maintenance contracts for these over time, like after the warranty is over?
Not at OSU, they don't. Okay. No, your maintenance guys are trained pretty good on stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think you guys have to worry about filters. I think you're on a maintenance contract where OSU comes in regularly and changes your filters and checks them, and
It's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Because this is up on an upper level and there's things underneath here, that's why you have a floor in there. So your floor is insulated panels.
Okay.
And I mean, you can roll stuff in if it's just a cart or something like that, but you do have to be concerned about the weight because it is a foam insulated panel, and you don't want those panels to separate or start lifting or cracking or anything like that. So you want to be careful about the weight that you have in there. Your door closers, as you can see when I pulled that door open, it'll stay open fully. It'll go on. It won't on that side. I think it'll hit that alarm before it does that. But this one will stay fully open. And then it's a self-closing door. Sometimes if somebody's yanking on it or doing something funky, it'll pop that top little roller out and your door won't close.
Yeah.
So yeah, then you just have to manually kind of put it back in there.
Pull it back down and.
Because you want to make sure that the door shuts every time. This is not stainless. This is Galvalume, Acrylume. What do you call it?
Galvalume.
Galvalume. So the Galvalume is a little bit touchier than stainless. Like, don't use bleach on it.
Okay.
It will pivot. It's wrapped in diamond tread stainless just because it's a high traffic area, and that'll keep it from denting. But the Galvalume is softer. I mean, if you hit something on it, it's going to dent or pit. Or it's a lot softer than the diamond tread that's on the lower part of it.
Yeah, I normally don't keep bleach in my kitchen because, again, mixing chemicals, students don't understand that sometimes. So, bleach can create some really toxic things. So I don't even keep that in my kitchen. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Unfortunately, there's people that do that because we had a job site where they hadn't even started the walk-in up yet, and they had a roof leak, so it leaked water into our walk-in, because your walk-in is one of the first things that get put together, and then everything's built around it. And the GC just closed the door, and that water sat there stagnant and grew mold on the whole inside of the walk-in. And so they went to Home Depot and they bought a mold spray cleaner that has bleach, Clorox. Who buys mold and sprayed the whole inside of the wall down to kill the mold? So it killed the mold. It did the job, but you'd be surprised at what people do. But you've got multiple holes that are punched in this, and when you have a hole punched in it for an electrical line or your sprinkler line or your drain line, those holes act like a straw. So you're kind of like a vacuum sealer inside there, and then when you have that little hole, then it draws air. So you'll see. There'll be some times where somebody just doesn't seal it up good, and you'll see a little bit of ice buildup starting there, and then you just have to figure out where that air leak is coming in, like who was the contractor that didn't seal their line, and then just get it sealed, and it usually solves that problem. But usually you'll see little droplets, and then they make a trail, and you can trace it right to the problem. But yeah, hopefully you don't have any problems with this. It's been running for quite a while.
Yeah, the temperature has been maintaining very well, because I always check it when I come
When you
in and make sure that it's at temp.
Excellent.
You want to talk about the fallout bin? There's not much
No.
to check it. Is it too full?
I don't know.
I'm always a little concerned.
You never have too much ice. Here's your ice bed. Here's your water. Oh, this does have a gate, yeah. Spill ice everywhere. See, everybody's so smart, they put the instructions on the inside of the door. Oh yeah, so that just gets your stuff out of there. Right. Does this come all the way out, Trish? I don't remember.
I don't think so. It just looks really full.
It does. Is there a stat on this, like sticking down into the bin?
There should be, yes.
Yeah, this is really just designed to keep the ice back and kind of pull it as needed.
He likes hearing what's in there. Yes.
Sorry. I'm hard of hearing, so it doesn't bother me. My apologies. I stood in front of a guitar amp for 14 years without hearing production. So now I can't hear. Huh?
You drive your wife nuts.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm surprised I'm still married.
Do you know how to read lips?
Oh yes. Very well.
Sign language?
Oh yeah, really good at that too. So yeah,
Now, as far as cleaning solution or anything for this,
to deep clean the bin.
yeah,
So obviously after you evacuate everything, just warm sudsy water.
and that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So no sanitizer or anything.
No, because you're going to be. I mean, I don't know what the maintenance is on the head,
Yeah,
but
it's-
that's really the majority of. Like if you maintain this and keep the water clean coming into this,
Okay.
this just needs so be.
But there is a sanitizer that, you should shut the ice machine down and do a couple times a year.
Yeah, it's usually every 6 months you're supposed to do a deep clean, make sure there's no mold in there, remove the mold and stuff like that. So.
And again, you can have a service company come in and do that. I don't know if you guys do that yourself or your maintenance guys. Yeah. I would guess that they would do that.
I don't know what the Scotsman cleaning process is, other than
Yeah, I
do they
mean,
use like a.
it's just a kind of like a descaler cleaner, but you want to make sure that you're keeping your vent clean. You can just sweep it out and make sure it's clean.
What's this, like a 400?
It's for like safety.
Right on the sticker.
You can read it. Not sure exactly what size it is.
If you want to scan this, that'll give you my contact info. And then if you have any questions, just